You won't believe how the Supreme Court just stabbed Trump in the back. Nancy Pelosi may have just won her biggest victory over Donald Trump. And it came in a fight that no one expected the Democrats would prevail. Now you won't believe how the Supreme Court just stabbed Donald Trump in the back. President Trump declared in September 2017 that he was ending Barack Obama's illegal executive amnesty program, otherwise known as DACA. The president gave a 6-month cushion for Congress to work out a legislative compromise to extend the so-called Dreamers protection in exchange for his pro-American worker immigration priorities. But Democrats never came to the table. Instead, they ran to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals where a judge ruled Trump's move unconstitutional. The outrageous ruling basically came down to one liberal judge saying Barack Obama has the right to be president, but Donald Trump does not. Americans continue to be appalled by the lawless, rogue liberal judges who take it upon themselves to light the Constitution on fire because their resistance to Donald Trump is their #1 priority. The Trump administration immediately appealed, and there was hope that with Brett Kavanaugh on the Supreme Court, the justices would agree to take up the case for their June term. But Chief Justice John Roberts led the Supreme Court to stab Trump in the back. The court declined to hear the DACA case in June and signaled they may not take it up until the October 2019 term. This betrayal throws a massive monkey wrench in Trump's immigration negotiations. Observers, as well as the president, expected the Supreme Court to uphold Trump's decision. After all, DACA was nothing more than a policy memo authored by the Department of Homeland Security. What one executive does through administrative interpretation another executive can undo. Trump also predicted a Supreme Court victory, and that it would strengthen his negotiating hand with Democrats. I think it's going to be overturned in the United States Supreme Court, and I think it's going to be overwhelmingly overturned, Trump told reporters during a recent cabinet meeting, so if we win that case, and I say this for all to hear, we'll be easily able to make a deal on DACA and the wall as a combination. But now that Pelosi and the Democrats have secured certainty that a Supreme Court decision on DACA won't come down until at least 2020, they are free to continue to obstruct Donald Trump's immigration agenda as well as continue the government shutdown. This is the second time in recent weeks that the Supreme Court has sold out the president on a key policy priority. Chief Justice Roberts led the court to reject hearing a case that would have allowed states to block Planned Parenthood funding. Conservatives have spent 40 years working to flip the court from a liberal policy board that played God with Americans lives into a conservative majority that would return to the original interpretation of the Constitution. But thanks to Justice Roberts, who was appointed by liberal establishment Republican George W. Bush, they are wondering if their efforts were in vain.